There was a time when Donald J. Trump was a household name, synonymous with success, wealth, and celebrity, long before his foray into politics. Trump was a media darling, a man who captivated the public's imagination, and became a symbol of the American dream. From the glitz and glamour of New York City's real estate world to the bright lights of Hollywood, Trump's charisma and larger-than-life persona made him a favorite among journalists, talk show hosts, and everyday Americans alike. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Donald Trump was a frequent guest on some of America's most popular talk shows. Oprah Winfrey, Barbara Walters, and Larry King were just a few of the media giants who welcomed Trump onto their stages. On these platforms, Trump wasn't just a guest, he was a star. He spoke about his business ventures, his lifestyle, and his views on success. The media couldn't get enough of him, and neither could the public. Trump was seen as a self-made billionaire, a man who had turned the world of real estate into his personal empire. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential figures in television history, once asked Trump if he would ever consider running for president. It was a question that drew applause and cheers from the audience, who clearly enjoyed the idea. Trump's response: he said he would only run if he felt the country needed him. At that time, it was hard to imagine that this charismatic businessman could one day become one of the most polarizing figures in American politics. On The View, Trump was often treated with respect, even admiration. The hosts laughed with him, joked with him, and engaged in discussions about his business acumen and his influence on American culture. He was seen as a symbol of success, a man who had mastered the art of the deal, and knew how to navigate the complex world of finance and entertainment. The media's fascination with Trump seemed endless, and for years he was a regular feature in magazines, newspapers, and television shows. Trump's influence extended beyond the boardroom and the talk show circuit. He made cameo appearances in movies like Home Alone 2 and TV shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. These brief moments on screen were a testament to his celebrity status, a status that transcended the business world and made him a pop culture icon. The public loved him, the media loved him, and for a time, it seemed that Donald Trump could do no wrong. Then came The Apprentice, the reality TV show that would cement Trump's status as a cultural phenomenon. Premiering in 2004, The Apprentice showcased Trump as the ultimate boss, the man with the power to make or break careers with his famous catchphrase, "You're fired." The show was a massive success, running for over a decade and making Trump a fixture in American living rooms. Once again, the media and the public couldn't get enough of him. He was praised for his business acumen, his no-nonsense attitude, and his ability to entertain. So what changed? How did a man who was once celebrated by the media and adored by millions become one of the most vilified figures in modern history? The answer lies in the world of politics, a world where alliances shift, narratives change, and public opinion can turn on a dime. In 2015, Donald Trump did what many thought was unthinkable. He announced his candidacy for the presidency of the United States. From the moment he descended the escalator at Trump Tower and delivered his first speech, it was clear that this was not the same Donald Trump the media had once embraced. His rhetoric was bold, his message was clear, and his campaign quickly gained traction among millions of Americans who felt left behind by the political establishment. But as Trump's campaign gained momentum, the media's tone began to shift. The same outlets that had once celebrated his successes and praised his charisma now turned their focus to his controversial statements, his unconventional style, and his outsider status. The media, once an ally, quickly became one of Trump's most vocal critics. The question is, why? Why did the media and the public, who had once loved Donald Trump, now turn against him? Part of the answer lies in Trump's willingness to challenge the status quo. As a candidate, Trump was unafraid to take on the political establishment, the corporate media, and anyone who stood in his way. He questioned long-held beliefs, called out the biases of the media, and refused to play the traditional rules of politics. For some, this was a breath of fresh air, an outsider who wasn't beholden to the elites. But for others, it was a direct threat to the institutions they had long trusted. When Trump won the 2016 election, it was a shock to the system, a victory that defied the predictions of nearly every major media outlet. The response from the media was immediate and intense. Coverage of Trump became overwhelmingly negative, with many outlets focusing on his every move, every tweet, and every statement. The man who had once been a media darling was now portrayed as a villain, a divisive figure whose presidency was framed as a threat to democracy itself. Throughout his presidency, Trump's relationship with the media continued to deteriorate. He frequently called out what he described as fake news, accused the media of bias, and clashed with reporters at press conferences. The media in turn amplified every controversy, scrutinized every decision, and often painted Trump in the most negative light possible. It was a war of words that played out on television screens, social media feeds, and front pages across the country. Yet, despite, or perhaps because of, this adversarial relationship with the media, Trump's base of supporters remained fiercely loyal. They saw him as a fighter, someone who was willing to take on the powerful forces arrayed against him. For many, Trump's battles with the media were proof that he was the real deal, an outsider who wasn't afraid to challenge the establishment and speak his mind, no matter the cost. As we look back on Trump's journey from media darling to political pariah, we must ask ourselves, what changed? Was it Trump himself who changed, or was it the media's perception of him? Perhaps it was both. What is clear is that Trump's relationship with the media is a story of shifting alliances, of a man who went from being celebrated to being vilified in the span of a few short years. In the end, Donald Trump's legacy is one that will be debated for years to come. He remains a polarizing figure, loved by many, loathed by others. But one thing is certain: Trump's impact on the media and American politics will not be forgotten. It is a story of power, influence, and the ever-changing tides of public opinion, a story that is far from over. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to explore more stories that shape our history and our present. Together, let's seek to understand the complexities of our world and the forces that drive change.